Every morning in the wild, a gazelle awakens. One thing is for sure, for the gazelle, that day, like every other, she must run faster than the fastest lion. If she cannot, she will be killed and eaten. Every morning, the lion awakens. For the lion, too, one thing is certain. This day and every day, he must run faster than the slowest gazelle. Whether fate names you a gazelle or a lion is of no consequence. It is enough to know that with the rising of the sun, you must run. And you must run faster than the day before, for the rest of your days, or you will die. We all have to run the race of life. In this game, the relentless winners have the best defenses. They might get out of trouble using supreme athletic feats, or they may use extraordinary camouflage and lethal poison. Some rely on mesmerizing herding behavior, while others use cooperation and intelligence to survive. Many have vicious horns and hooves, from the frog to the hyena, from the zebra to the deer. These spectacular survivors use their finely honed defenses to win their race of life. The animals winning their race of life with the best defenses have learned how to conquer their ecological niche over countless generations. They have learned who their enemies are and how to defend themselves against them. Some need to protect themselves against the king of beasts on the plains of Africa. Others need to fight against enemies almost too small for the human eye to see. And many need to avoid the lightning strike and deadly venom of an ambush. As all good sports coaches say, if your defense is flawless, then you can never lose. More animals live in this place than anywhere else on Earth. It's where the race of life is at its most intense. Millions of antelope, zebra, giraffe, rhino, and elephants graze on the great grassy plains of Africa. There are vast numbers of predators here. There may be a lot of prey, but there's ruthless competition to catch and keep it. The big cats get all the publicity, but there's one predator that has evolved a way to beat them all: the hyena. Hyenas may look like dogs, but they're more closely related to cats. They've been around for over 10 million years, and for good reason. These incredible animals have one extremely adapted ability. Hyenas are bone crushers. They are one of the few animals in the world capable of eating large bones. This young female can smell something exciting. A highly tuned sense of smell will take her straight to her target. It's a wildebeest carcass, probably left over from a lion hunt. There's not much meat left, but for the hyena, that's no problem. She will eat everything: skin, horns, and bones. Her massive jaws can crush with the power of a vice, and her unique large teeth will break bones with hardly any effort. This animal wins her race of life by gaining nutrition from food others leave behind. But that's not her only survival skill. Our hyena is part of a large extended family group called a clan. It is run by a hierarchy of dominant females. They mark and defend their territory. Hyena paste contains colonies of bacteria with a unique odor. Our female can recognize her territory through this familiar smell. Hyena clans are terrifyingly huge, up to 90 individuals. So when this group launches an attack, there's no defense. The clan brings down their prey, and they will run and run until their prey is exhausted before tearing it apart. A lion wants a share. She's more than 3 times the size of a hyena, but the hyenas show no fear. The lion has no chance against a clan of this size. Hyenas are the most fierce carnivores in Africa, with jaws and teeth to match. With defenses like this, no animal is going to beat them in their race of life. Hidden deep among the swamps, rivers, and lakes of the world is a little creature with a lot of character. He's excellent at defending himself, but he's not armed with massive teeth and claws. He's hard to see, but his sound echoes across our waterways. He spends most of his life in the water, but breathes air. He can't fly or sprint, but when it comes to jumping, he's an animal superhero. Frogs are amphibians. They lay their eggs in water, and their young are born with gills. They come as small as a little fingernail and as big as a man's foot. These distinctive animals have relatives all over the world, from the Arctic to the tropics. Frogs are spectacular winners in the race of life, with 4,800 different species. But they are soft and small, making them prime targets for many predators. However, they have a secret weapon. It lies under their body, spring-loaded and ready for action: their legs. Frog legs are perfectly evolved for spectacular feats. Their massive leg muscles make up a sixth of their total body weight. The Australian rocket frog holds the greatest jump of all. A tree snake is keen to make a meal out of him. He can taste the smell of the frog with his tongue, honing in on him. But the frog kicks into action. The rocket frog can leap over 2 meters in one jump. That's 50 times his body size. Many of his leg and foot bones have become elongated for maximum springing power. His forelimb bones have fused to cope with the impact of landing. Frogs have lungs, but they also have a special trick for staying hidden beneath the surface of the river. They can extract oxygen from water by breathing through their skin, but it doesn't always work. A red-bellied black snake manages to strike just in time, but the frog has one last line of defense. His slippery skin makes him difficult to hold on to. Many frogs escape the jaws of death in this way, but not this one. Today, the snake has won, and despite his athletic prowess, this frog has lost his race of life. Despite our ever-growing cities, the forests of the northern hemisphere are still home to one of the largest herbivores on Earth. They are shy, but they will fight to protect their families. They range in size from a dainty 30 kilos to a magnificent 400, and all the males are powerfully armed. Deer. These grazing animals have evolved long, strong legs, making them excel in running, jumping, and swimming. But the attribute that helps them win their race of life is found on their heads: antlers. For most deer, only the males possess these impressive weapons. They shed and regrow them every year. Even the massive antlers of the moose must be replaced. They can be over 2 meters across, but they can be replaced in less than 5 months. Female moose select their mate based on the size of his antlers. Deep in the woods of North and South America lives a deer that has become a master of invisibility: the fawn. Their spotted coats match the dappled spring sunshine. The white-tailed deer, despite their big eyes, can't see too well. Their greatest defense lies in their acute sense of smell, and of course, their impressive set of antlers. Like most deer, the females do not have antlers. They rely on the dominant male to protect them from attack, and on their brilliant art of camouflage. This fawn is distressed. He's lost his mother, but she's not far away. They are soon reunited. He will stay with his parent until he's a year old. His sister will stay with mom and dad for 2 years. White-tailed deer eat a huge range of berries, shoots, and vegetables. They can even manage to eat toxic mushrooms and poison ivy. The doe can hear a rustle in the bushes. The fawn is also alarmed, but he's exposed, away from the safety of the trees. A mountain lion is on the hunt. A wolf has also noticed the herd. The fawn runs to safety, and dad sounds the alarm. It's rutting season for the elk. Stags must compete for a mate. The antlers on these elk can be over 1 meter long, so these fights for supremacy can get very serious. The stags with the biggest antlers and greatest strength will win. And for good reason. They will be needed later. The does have given birth. A wolf has picked up the scent of the elk. The fawns are well protected from predators by their camouflage. But if that fails, the dominant stag steps in. Those huge antlers are too much of a threat to the wolf. The young elk get another day to run their race of life. The grassy plains of Africa are a place of contrasts, where the equatorial sun creates bright light and dark shade. The hunters and the hunted make use of these patterns to hide. Almost every animal out here has evolved a coat for camouflage, like an invisibility cloak. It allows big cats to stalk and small animals to stay out of sight. One animal has developed this camouflage to a more complex level. It's color palette isn't just the forms and golden shades of most animals here. This animal defends itself by running, the black and white race of life, the zebra. Zebras are part of the horse family, but unlike horses and donkeys, they have never been truly domesticated. This herd is mostly made up of many harem groups, one stallion and about 6 mares. Their foals are dependent on their mothers for a year. A lone cheetah is looking for a meal. He's reluctant to take on a healthy adult zebra. The cheetah is hoping for easier prey, perhaps an injured or older animal, or even better, a foal. This foal has lost his mother, and his scent attracts the cheetah. The mother is unaware of his disappearance. The hyena has also picked up the sound. The foal instinctively knows he won't last long without the protection of the herd. His stripes are protecting him. They break up his outline, allowing him to blend into the long grass. Will the herd notice he's gone before the predators find him? The mother is alerted and doesn't waste any time. The foal is safely reunited with his family. Each zebra has a unique stripe pattern, so it's possible that they recognize each other by sight. Zebra stripes are not merely camouflage. They serve at least 3 other defense functions. Predators always select a single animal before moving in for the kill. This lion is confused when a herd moves around, and the black and white lines create a kind of motion dazzle. It's difficult to pick out an individual. The lion gives up, for now. The powerful sun is reflected by the white stripes, but absorbed by the black ones. This contrast creates air currents along the zebra's body, keeping her cool. The most bizarre function of the stripes? To protect against insect bites. These grasslands are buzzing with horseflies and tsetse flies, but for some reason, fewer flies attack the zebras with the most stripes. However, the stripes cannot protect the zebra from crocodiles. This herd needs to cross the river to follow the rains and find fresh grass. They've been spotted. The zebras have no choice. It's certain death by starvation or the risk of swimming with the crocodiles. The race of life is on. The crocodile has lost this time. Most of the herds to graze another season, but they are tired from the journey. One zebra doesn't make it today. Finally, the lions get their feed. The weakest animal has been taken down. She is now contributing to the survival of the lions. The stronger zebras will go on to raise their families and produce more animals, running their race of life. In the world of small creatures, it's seething with thousands of battles to stay alive. It's a place full of animals with many legs and many eyes, a world inhabited by carnivores with giant fangs and lethal venom. And there are always larger animals searching and waiting, hoping to find a meal. One of these small creatures sends so much fear into us that there's even a phobia named after them. They are so successful that we found almost 50,000 species and are still counting. Spiders are arachnids. They all have 8 legs, an external skeleton, and venomous fangs. This trapdoor spider would be a juicy meal for a bird or lizard, but he defends himself by hiding underground. It's also the perfect place for catching lunch. It could be any unsuspecting passerby, a beetle, a cricket, or a grasshopper. The spider lays out tripwires along the ground. He then hides and waits. He lightly touches the ends of the tripwires from inside his hole. If a passing bug trips on the wires, the spider will be alerted. A cricket has just fed on some forest leaves. The spider knows something's out there. The cricket moves closer. The tripwires are tight and almost invisible. The cricket is now right on top of the trapdoor, completely unaware of the danger below. But the spider doesn't strike. The cricket moves away, unharmed. By some miracle, he has failed to make contact with any of the tripwires. The spider has lost his race of life this time, but he's ready and waiting for the next unsuspecting victim. The most dangerous time for a predator is the fight to catch and kill her prey. Injuries caused by a struggling victim can be fatal. Spiders have mastered the art of defending themselves against injury in many mysterious ways. A flower petal moves. It's a crab spider. Like the trapdoor spider, she uses ambush to catch her prey. A lacewing butterfly is looking for nectar. The crab spider is perfectly camouflaged. The butterfly sucks the sweet nectar in a final moment of bliss. The spider strikes. She will wait until the butterfly succumbs to her venom before she moves in for her meal. Some spiders do more than just wait for their meal. This bolas spider is casting out a lure. She's laced the lure with a pheromone that's irresistible to moths. The spider can swing her bolas for up to 15 minutes. A minor moth approaches. He's done for. The spider further entangles the moth in silk and stores him nearby for later, mealtime. But spiders are just as vulnerable to attack as other insects. A mother redback is protecting her egg sac. She doesn't know there's an intruder in the nursery. A Portia spider lies in wait. Within days, hundreds of spiderlings emerge. Despite their watchful mother, the Portia spider moves in for a feast of newborn redbacks. Many young will lose their race of life before they even know they were born. But enough will survive. The spider race of life is a game of numbers, skill, and excellent defenses. The arms race of the animal world has led to defenses of almost infinite variety, from the vice-like jaws of the hyena to the gunshot speed of the frog, from the strong steel silk of the spider to the hypnotic patterns of the zebra and the awesome antlers of the deer. Defense is the key to winning the race of life.
Whether fate names you a gazelle or a lion is of no consequence. It is enough to know that with the rising of the sun, you must run. And you must run faster than the day before, for the rest of your days, or you will die. We all have to run. Run the race of life. Beneath the waves, the coral reef holds its own race of life. This world shines light on the darker corners of the ocean. Even the most colorful corners here can be hiding something deadly. This is a world packed with predators. The lightning speed and pin-cushion teeth of the barracuda, the giant size and surprise attacks of the moray eel, and the surprising grace and beauty of the lionfish, with its needle-like spines capable of injecting deadly venom. It's a world inhabited by some of the most toxic animals on the planet. The reef shark is often considered one of the ocean's most grumpy predators, a surprise given its status as one of the most famous killers of the sea. But this isn't just any shark, it's the reef shark. And once you realize the constant struggles for survival happening below the surface, you'll never see the underwater world the same way again. It's a place of endless battles. The vast expanse of the seas and oceans on our planet is teeming with life, but much of it is concentrated near the coast and in shallow waters. Most of these underwater predators don't seek to attack humans, but we have chosen to enter their world. A surfboard can resemble a sea lion to a hungry shark. A glinting piece of jewelry can look like a fish to a moray eel. The splashing motion of a swimmer can sound like an injured animal to a passing barracuda. This episode looks beyond the beauty of the coral reefs and the tropical fish to reveal the complex world of predator and prey. We'll dive deep to uncover the secrets hidden in the coral canyons, get up close to the lion of the sea, swim side by side with a classic killer, and slither along the seabed with the muscular creatures of the ocean's depths. In the tropical seas, the waters are warm, clear, and calm, but something sinister lies beneath the glassy surface. The colorful fish of the coral reefs are one of nature's wonders, but lurking below them are predators that hunt in packs. These predators, barracuda, gang up on their prey, herding smaller fish together to create the perfect feast. Their eyesight is sharp and precise, designed for the hunt. Barracudas are aggressive and isolated hunters. They only come together as adults for two reasons: to spawn and to hunt. These streamlined tigers of the ocean are found in tropical and subtropical waters worldwide. The name barracuda strikes fear into the hearts of those living in the tropics. There are around 28 species, and barracudas prefer to live near the sea surface, where they spend much of their time hidden, waiting for their prey. This large adult barracuda waits patiently, ready to ambush a smaller fish. Relying on its camouflage, it strikes in short, intense bursts of speed. Once its prey is caught in those fang-like teeth, there is no escape. But not all barracudas are hunting today. This smaller one is staying hidden for a different reason. He's hoping the predator doesn't become prey. Stalking these waters is a giant barracuda, one that won't hesitate to take another barracuda if it gets the chance. Meanwhile, a small fingerling is looking for a place to scratch an itch, something every fish can relate to. She's heading for a special location in the underwater world, a cleaning station. Despite the barracuda's hearty appetite, the little fish swimming near her jaws are safe. They are cleaner wrasse, and their job is to eat parasites and dead skin from the barracuda. The barracuda won't harm them, as they are helping her stay healthy. These cleaner fish have sharp, irregular teeth for maximum biting efficiency. From the moment they grow into fingerlings, they are ready to hunt and kill. But even the baby barracudas, tiny as they are, can strike with incredible speed, up to 40 kilometers per hour. This small fingerling has no idea that these infant killers are lurking nearby. But sometimes, even a grown barracuda can bite off more than it can chew. The barracuda's hunting tactics are intense, sometimes attacking their prey by biting it in half. Barracudas are notorious for attacking anything they believe to be a carcass, including humans. The secret? Always keep moving. Predators in these waters are relentless. Now let's explore another of the ocean's giants, the moray eel. With its snake-like appearance, the moray eel is both beautiful and fearsome. Found in a stunning array of colors and patterns, this shy, secretive creature spends much of its time hidden in crevices, but it's a carnivore and an efficient hunter. Its needle-like teeth are designed to pierce slippery fish. But despite its fierce reputation, the moray can also be one of the ocean's most graceful predators. Just like the barracuda, the moray eel enjoys a visit to a cleaning station. Here, cleaner fish come to exfoliate and clean, nibbling away at the parasites on the moray's skin. Although shy, the moray is usually quite gentle and often curious. The moray's vibrant colors serve as camouflage, blending perfectly with the patterns of the coral reef. Even the brightest hues can be difficult to spot amidst the rainbow of the underwater world. At the cleaning station, cleaner fish dive deep into the eel's throat, where the backward-facing teeth are designed for capturing prey. Despite the risk, the cleaner fish are never attacked. They have a symbiotic relationship with the moray. The moray's eyesight isn't great, so it relies on its keen sense of smell to hunt. With a swimming style that resembles an underwater ballet, the moray elegantly searches the reef for food. It preys on fish, other eels, and sometimes prawns or shellfish. Eels, in general, are some of the ultimate winners in the race of life. Having evolved over 500 million years ago, they are the earliest known ancestors of all vertebrates, including us. The moray is known for scavenging, even feasting on leftovers. Its backward-facing teeth are perfectly suited for tearing into chunks of flesh. When hunting, the moray is lightning fast, and the sharp teeth are able to grip slippery prey. This is how the moray succeeds in its underwater race of life, by adapting, evolving, and using the resources around it to thrive. These remarkable animals are not only perfect underwater predators, they are gentle and graceful winners in the oceanic race of life. Coral reefs are like the Amazon rainforest of the sea, which could explain why they are home to one of the most aggressively invasive animals on the planet. This animal is a fish, and it is dramatically different from other fish. Its colors are striking, and its fins are graceful, but they also hide massive spines containing deadly venom. This beautiful fish wins its race of life because almost nothing will dare to eat it. It has spread to reefs all over the world with alarming speed. These stripy invaders have managed to colonize the Atlantic Ocean along the American coast in only 10 years. Unlike their personalities, their taste is described as sweet and delicate. This strange-looking fish can be as small as a strawberry or as big as a watermelon, and they are not shy. Not surprisingly, these fish have been given a range of colorful names: zebrafish, turkeyfish, butterfly cod. But the name that most people use clearly shows how this fish is king of the tropical oceans. He is a predator with almost no predators. Other animals maintain a respectful distance from him. He is the lionfish. They come in white with black or different shades of orange, red, and rich pink. Their bright colors are a warning to other creatures that they're venomous. This coral trout is another fierce underwater predator, but this meal is too tricky. Like all lionfish, she can maneuver like a helicopter. She can precisely control an airbag inside her body, called a swim bladder, so she can hold her position at almost any angle. This collection of males and females is each looking for a mate. Lionfish only come together to breed. The rest of the time, they live alone. This fish is on the hunt. She strayed away from the camouflage of the reef and fans her lethal fins out for maximum protection. This large male is being more proactive. He fancies his chances of catching some of these bait fish. The rapid strike is the most effective method for grabbing a meal. Despite her bright color, this lionfish is well hidden against the orange coral. She uses her fins to walk along the reef, stalking the fry. The ominous shadow of the lionfish is a warning to all, but not all the smaller fish have seen her. Might as well strike while the iron's hot. Lionfish live from 5 to 15 years, unless something eats them first. But given their impressive weapons, many of them live a long and well-fed race of life. The creature lying in these canyons runs an invisible race of life. Of the many strange shapes and creatures on the coral reef, one is so strange that it doesn't even look like a living creature, and it has the deadliest venom in the world. As we get closer, its outline may become visible. Its incredible camouflage makes it one of the most effective predators in the sea. It's a fish that can make itself look like a stone. Stonefish have 13 sharp spines in their dorsal fins. The poison they inject can be lethal to humans. The 5 species of stonefish all live in the tropics. They won't attack humans, but when they're buried in the sand, they're like a trap. Many unsuspecting paddlers and snorkelers have accidentally stood on a stonefish. Stonefish use shape and texture to blend in, as well as color. Sometimes all that's visible is that fierce-looking mouth. Not all stonefish are dull browns and grays. Some add a glorious splash of color to their wardrobe. Stonefish venom is stored in glands at the base of each spine. When threatened, venom is instantly discharged into the spines and injected into the attacker. There are 5 species of stonefish. They can all walk on their fins, and they all enjoy eating small fish and shrimp. This female has decided that her hunting ground has run out of food, so she's moving on to find richer pastures. Small fish are easy prey for stonefish, but they don't provide much of a meal. This fish is completely unaware that danger is lurking beneath. For the stonefish, its race of life requires patience. If this fish is going to win the race today, it will need a better memory. Got him at last. Time for the stonefish to sit back on the rocks and digest his well-earned meal. This classic underwater predator has a more approachable side. She's known for being the silent killer of the deep. Her silhouette strikes fear into every swimmer, both human and animal. But sometimes, she's not as bad as she looks. Her sinister cousins prefer to live far from the warm waters of the reef. Yes, she's a shark, but she doesn't have the reputation of colder water sharks like the bull or the great white. She's not as big, and so, neither is her appetite. Unlike their cold water cousins, reef sharks often move in large groups. They are still hunters with the speed and skill of all sharks. The huge bait balls of tropical fish are their favorite dining spots, and they sometimes work in teams to round up the fish. With a sharp set of teeth and an excellent sense of smell, When there's lots of food around, it's almost like a celebration for these high-speed hunters. They are well equipped for the race of life. Reef sharks are smaller than their temperate cousins, rarely growing more than 1.6 meters. A school of mullet or whiting may have attracted this reef shark into a feeding frenzy. The huge numbers of fish help the sharks win this race of life. They work together to herd the fish against the shore, leaving them with no escape. These blacktips are coming together to find a mate. The females swim in long, graceful lines to show they're ready to meet a male. Most reef sharks aren't aggressively territorial, but they do have a regular home range, and they will stay close to it for many years. These reef fish are in danger. A reef shark is trying to corner them against the coral. Tropical fish win their race of life against the sharks by using colors and erratic movements to confuse them. But the shark is also a supreme athlete. He can twist and turn at speed to catch his slippery prey. Beneath the coral surface, a colony of crustaceans has attracted the sharks. It's also drawn other fish. It's a wonderful smorgasbord for the reef sharks. Some are so excited, they're using their snouts to dig deeper into the coral. One lucky winner has found the remains of someone else's catch. Reef fish are used to living with sharks. It's hard not to imagine that this is just a playful game. This lone shark is waiting for the best time of day for hunting, sunset, when the shadows are long and the shark disappears against the black rocks. He dives straight in, and within seconds, the catch is made. The taste of meat drives the sharks into even more of a frenzy. Now there are hundreds of blacktips, all attracted from miles around by the excitement. The holes and crevices in the coral provide refuge for the prey. Shrimps, snakes, and fish are all pushing themselves deep into the rocks. This big-eye fish has arrived at the wrong place at the wrong time. He's racing for his life against the odds, but he's fast and nimble. But so is the reef shark. The big eye's race is over. Feeding frenzies like this are not just races of life for the reef sharks. This is a giant team sport, and on nights like tonight, the reef shark is the winner. Underwater predators have adopted extreme measures to hunt and survive. The fish of the reef must be fast to escape the barracuda and wary to survive, swimming near the lairs of the moray eel. They may be ambushed by the deadly beauty of the reef, the lionfish, or sucked into the huge mouth of the stonefish. At every moment, they need to be running their race of life against an army of underwater attackers. Every morning in the savannah, a gazelle awakens, and one thing is for sure. For the gazelle, that day, as every other, she must run faster than the fastest lion. If she cannot, she will be killed and eaten. Every morning, a lion awakens too, and for the lion, one thing is certain. This day and every day, he must run faster than the slowest gazelle. Whether fate names you a gazelle or a lion is of no consequence. It is enough to know that with the rising of the sun, you must run. You must run faster than the day before, for the rest of your days, or you will die. We all have to run. Run the race of life.
Surviving underwater takes a whole new set of skills. Some creatures use chemical weapons, with colorful advertising telling attackers to back off. Some choose to live with the enemy and have a clever technique to stay alive, where others would die. Others fire off weapons like a machine gun and can cause death to humans in seconds. To protect yourself against predators in the sea, you need to be highly specialized, or extremely intelligent, or a weird and wonderful mix of both. The great oceans of the world contain canyons deeper than 10 kilometers and mountains just as high. Temperatures range from below 0 degrees Celsius to over 30 degrees Celsius. Many areas of the ocean have not yet been explored, and creatures are still waiting to be discovered. Nobody knows for sure exactly what is out there, looking for its next meal. Underwater life is lived in 3 dimensions. Attackers can come from any direction, up, down, from behind, or from either side. Often, predators can strike with no warning. They can travel at high speeds or stay well hidden for an ambush. To win the race of life underwater, you need to have the best self-defense. The most colorful creature on the planet has a complex and clever way of avoiding predators. She lives in every ocean, but is at her most spectacular in the rainbow world of the coral reef. She comes in almost every color you can imagine, the nudibranch. She is small, soft, and slow. Moving gracefully, the nudibranch runs her race of life with a clever combination of chemicals, tentacles, and stings. This kaleidoscopic little animal is basically a sea snail without a shell. The best way to see how these animals defend is to look at what they attack. The nudibranch uses smell and taste to hunt for food. The little horns on her head, called rhinophores, pick up chemical signals to tell her when food is close by. This rainbow nudibranch has found what she's looking for, a tube anemone. The anemones are covered in stingers, so the nudibranch plans her attack. It's a graceful race of life between two strange, soft-bodied animals. The nudibranch has eaten her enemy. Next, the nudibranch digests the enemy, but it will not be poisoned by the stings. Instead, the enemy's stinging cells will harmlessly move through the body of the nudibranch to the surface of its skin. Now, the nudibranch is defended by the stinging cells of its enemy. Anyone who tries to eat it will be stung and poisoned. Their wonderful bright colors serve as a warning to predators to stay away. This cuttlefish is looking for a juicy meal, but if it attacks, a second defense mechanism kicks in. This nudibranch has detachable body parts. The wriggly fronds on her back, known as serrata, will break off and continue wriggling, distracting the attackers. Some animals can still eat these crafty creatures, including members of their own species, but they have one more trick to beat everyone around them. They can make double the amount of offspring. These two nudibranchs are mating. Which one is the male and which is the female? The answer is, they both are. These lovebirds are hermaphroditic. They have both male and female sex organs, and each will fertilize the other. They will both lay eggs, and that doubles the nudibranch's chances of winning the race of life. One of the smartest ways to win the race of life against predators is to find a way to live with the enemy. The animal who does this best swims in the Indian Ocean, the Red Sea, and the Western Pacific. She has adapted a means of survival that would kill most other fish, and by doing this, she can get on with her life, letting others do the defending. The clownfish is famous for making her home among the deadly tentacles of sea anemones. This is a dangerous activity. Anemones eat fish by trapping them in their tentacles and releasing hundreds of tiny toxic stings. But this clownfish is determined to make her home here. As she dances, she gently brushes against the enemy, getting stung. Amazingly, the clownfish does not succumb to the toxin. Her body is covered in a protective layer of mucus. By doing this dance, the clownfish gradually gets used to the toxin released by the enemy. It is her dance of life to secure herself a safe home. Soon, she can move in full time. The bluefin trevally thinks he's found an easy meal. Will he risk being stung to satisfy his hunger? No, the clownfish has won her race of life, and the trevally has to find food elsewhere. This little fish keeps her house clean by nibbling parasites and food scraps from the surface of the anemone. She also keeps it nicely aired by fanning oxygen around with her fins. The anemone gets a good deal from its new host, and both creatures are running their race of life side by side, helping each other. This feisty little fish will fight for it. This clownfish is also looking for some way to live. No hope here. Our fish aggressively defends her newfound territory. Now, she needs a family, and for this, she allows a group of smaller males to join her in her home. The largest male will become her partner and fertilize her eggs. But there are a lot of big predators out there. Sharks, eels, and larger fish will try to eat our clownfish. The matriarch has not returned, but all is not lost for our fish family. Something totally odd is about to happen. The big male will turn into a female, She will then select a partner from the remaining males and continue to lay eggs, carrying on the family line. The original mother fish may have lost, but she has built a family that has a clever way of carrying on without her. In this way, the clownfish family wins its race of life. The ultimate victor in the underwater race of life is a carnivore. He moves silently and slowly, but he is an efficient hunter. Some of his kind produce the deadliest toxins on the planet. They conquered the seas long before sharks and dinosaurs, and they are winning their race of life in every ocean in the world, jellyfish. This incredible creature has existed for over 500 million years. The box jellyfish is out to kill. He's not drifting passively with the currents, but actively using small jets to drive himself forward. Moving at about 4 knots, his tentacles are sophisticated, stealthy weapons. Almost invisible, they can be 3 meters long. He has around 60 of them, each covered in 5,000 stinging cells. Like all jellyfish, this is how he catches his prey. Despite the fragile appearance of his tentacles,